I found this news very interesting. Xbox boss Phil Spencer says multi-platform brand pivot partly driven by Gen Z habits. This is very, very interesting to me. And so let's get into this. Xbox's new exclusivity strategy has partly been shaped by research into Gen Z consumer behavior. Let's just quickly get the perfect range here for Gen Z. 97 to 2012. So 97 to 2012, Gen Z. Through its acquisition of multi-platform blockbusters like Minecraft and Call of Duty over the years, Xbox is already a major publisher on PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. But in February, Microsoft delivered an Xbox business update, which confirmed plans to bring more first-party games to rival platforms, initially in the form of Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, Grounded. Discussing the strategy shift in an interview with Polygon, Xbox boss Phil Spencer said ballooning development budgets were making exclusives harder to justify. He said it can cost $300 million to build a video game these days, and the case for exclusivity gets pressured at the cost as the cost of the game goes up. Spencer also said a bid to stay relevant with younger consumers was contributing to the decision to make more Xbox games available on as many platforms as possible. This notion that Xbox can only be this one device that plugs into a television isn't something we see in the Gen Z research because nothing else is like that for them. He goes on to say, some of them will have an iPhone, some of them will have an Android, but all the games and everything is the same. I can still get to TikTok on both of them, at least for now. All the stuff is available wherever they want. So for Xbox, our brand pivot as we attract and maintain relevance with a younger audience is Xbox is a place where I can find great games I want to. What do you guys think about this? He goes on to say, I know you guys tell me in the chat what you guys think. I'm just going to finish this up. I know sometimes things get weaponized, but there's some evil in the background that's making us do things. Phil hates exclusive, and that's why we're like PlayStation Switch now. Every decision we make is to make Xbox stronger in the long run. It doesn't mean everyone's going to agree with every decision we make, but it is fundamental for how we make decisions. I gotta say, Phil's line of thinking makes sense, okay? What he's basically saying, and what he has been saying, is the gaming industry is not growing. What that means is, like, if you sum up the Xbox generation, the PlayStation 2 generation, and the GameCube generation, you take that sum, and then you take the Generation 7 sum, which is the Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, and then you do the same thing for Xbox One, PS4, Wii U, and do it again and again and again. Essentially, you're going to get the same amount of people. Like, that pie isn't growing. And moreover, it's difficult to see who owns duplicate consoles. Like for myself, I own every console. I always do. I love every game, so I always save up to get those consoles. I know not everybody can do that, right? So you guys say, like, X-Bacon Gaming, he's correct. PS4 sold 120 million units, and Spider-Man 2018 sold, 25 million copies? Yeah, exactly. That turnover. Sanju Bogner, this seems like a difficult but necessary decision. Bacon, been selling consoles to the same group of boomers since the 90s. And Tugger says, it's all a profit motive. They do what the money tells them to do, and for the next years, it'll be mostly non-exclusive games for most devs. Nintendo will be holdout like always. Personally, I don't see the point of getting an Xbox when I have a PC. So what you guys are saying, what he's saying, this is the move to make because essentially the pie isn't growing. Here's my problem with that. And I have a tweet. I'll go into it in more detail after. Maybe we'll see how it works. But Gen Z is obsessed with TikTok. That's for sure. Gen Z is obsessed with TikTok. Gen Alpha as well. All these gens, and I would say a lot of millennials and it's Gen Z and the millennials. A lot of the millennials are as well. It's not just Gen Z, but I understand Gen Z is focused primarily on TikTok, so they're not playing console games. Why aren't they playing console games? Let's start there. Why isn't Gen Z playing console games? Is it really because it is difficult to get to? Or is it because those games don't appeal to them? You have to understand, Gen Z is... When you guys grew up, when millennials grew up, when Gen Y grew up, when all of us grew up, right? You had TV for your entertainment. You had YouTube for your entertainment. You know, you had all these types of things. They're slower. They're slower paced. You grew up with slower paced stuff. As you age, the content got faster, more to the point, not necessarily like just like super speed, but they were getting to the point faster. So different age groups want different information told as fast as possible. And if you look at the different age groups as a point of knowledge that they have, the people who are older have way more knowledge and way more experience. They don't need to be told rapid fire 1 billion different facts. They have some. They can pick and choose what they want to hear. They have a giant amount of life experience. You go down another generation. It's the same thing, but they're still trying to learn as much as possible. So a little bit faster. They want to learn as much as they can. Gen Z doesn't know anything yet. They're just getting into the adult age. So Gen Z wants to learn as much as humanly possible. Their brain is just firing on all cylinders. Their brain is just giant sponge. So the information that they're given, the TikToks that go viral, are usually those that are just to the point. They're either like, you know, a well-told meme, or they're information that is just like, here it is. This is like extremely fascinating, and there's no dead spots. So when you take that into context of like the type of age group that you're in with the media that you were trained on growing up. So again, like you either grew up with the old school television shows like cartoons, all that stuff, or even older than that. And then, you know, in the 2000s era, there was like the YouTube spurt. And then in the 2010 eras, it was the YouTube spurt gone a little bit faster, and now it's gone even more faster, but still not to the point of TikTok. Like that information, fast is probably not the best word, but the information on TikTok is to the point. Like it's like 60 seconds, you're in, not even usually. And it's more human. It's like just a person, right? Okay, now that you have that in context, what about video games is like that? Nothing. Video games are minimum 8 hours to 16, some 100 hours to complete. Video games have some of the worst intros I've ever seen. I gave an example of Mass Effect 2 as having some of the best. But video games, for the most part, they're filled with tutorials that get you going, probably the first 30 minutes. And the story takes forever to get going. They have no idea how to do characters, usually for the most part. And they nickel and dime everything. So why would Gen Z want to be into that? In fact, the games that Gen Z are playing are which types of games? Now, you could say people are playing Sam G. Bogner. You just got auto-modded. There you go. Got you. What up, Curve? Goose Morning. Goose Morning on to you. I hope you're feeling goose-tastic, Curve. Everybody, hearts in the chat for Curve, please. Hearts in the chat for Curve. Sucked me right in. So yeah, what type of these games are playing to the Gen Z strengths, the way that they've grown up and been given information? Which types of games? Now you might say, well, they're only into multiplayer free-to-play games, but that's not necessarily true. They're into easily accessible games they could play where they play, right? That get to the point fast.
Yo.
Thank you, Curve. Yo. And that's right. That's right, Samju Bogner. No sucking allowed. Hashaw with the heart, though. You gotta respect the heart. Thank you, Hashaw. Yeah, so Fortnite. Huge winner for Gen Z. Fortnite is immediately like, it's the TikTok of video games. And a multiplayer match is essentially the TikTok of video games. You get in, it's a couple minutes, you do your thing.
Turtle.
There it is. Respect the turtle, Curve. We all gotta respect the turtle. You get in, you play your multiplayer match, boom. That's your style. So, what has Microsoft made that is Gen Z style? Let's scroll up again to the examples they gave. Pentiment. Look, I'm not saying it's a bad game. Gen Z's not playing it. Hi-Fi Rush. I'm not saying it's a bad game. Gen Z's not playing it. Sea of Thieves. I'm not saying it's a bad game. Gen Z will play that because it's more accessible. And same thing with Grounded. And they are successful, I believe. But the reason they're playing it is because it's information. Oh my goodness. Is that Alex? 1, 2, 3. How's it going? I hope you're feeling beautiful. You're goose-tastic, and I wish you the best of goose-tastic weekends. And I hope that fra was everything you could ever imagine. So yeah, my problem with I clicked a link. My problem with Phil Spencer's statement that their pivot is due to Gen Z habits is nothing they make is for Gen Z, essentially. And putting it on PlayStation is not going to get Gen Z. Gen Z doesn't care about PlayStation. Gen Z cares about their phones. So then you might say, okay, well, let's put all the games on the phones. Well, there's a problem with that too. Gen Z doesn't want to play those games. So Resident Evil 4 is one of the big games that came to mobile on iPhone. Nobody wants to play it on phones. In fact, let's just read the tweet that I have because I feel like I wrote it very succinctly there. Because I got so many problems with this line of thinking. I just find it just makes no sense. But you guys call me out. You tell me if I'm crazy. Why is it like this? Why? Chat, I'm losing it. I'm losing it, chat. What is happening here? Elon? Get it together, Elon.
This man is crazy.
I am crazy, aren't I? I am crazy. Why does the text-to-speech take so long to... Some glitches here. Okay, let's read through this, okay? And then we'll play Halo Infinite and I'll give you guys money. Actually, I won't because I'm not going to die. Okay. Small, longish rant on Xbox. Apologies, but the leadership seems to be incredibly off the mark, in my opinion. I want to talk. Okay, so I say Phil Spencer's concern that the console space isn't growing is wrong. The problem, according to him, is the space isn't growing in terms of players. What he means by this is if we add up all sales across the last 3 generations of consoles, we would not see a substantial growth that one of the richest companies in the world could present in their shareholder meetings. So again, what I was saying, every generation, it's the same pool of people, roughly tops out, I think, 180 million sales across all consoles, and each generation, 180 million, give or take. So we're not seeing substantial growth. In these boardroom meetings, these guys, they want to come to their executives and they want to say, we've grown by 30% year over year. That's what they want to do because at the end of the day, what they say is tied to the stock. And so if they don't have that stuff, then the stock plummets and they want their stock to be as high as possible because that's why people buy stocks. People buy stocks not because they like the company, although that is partially because of it, but people buy stocks because they want to make money. You buy Microsoft stock because you want to make money. And to be honest, if you have Microsoft stock, you're probably making money. Although I haven't checked in a long time. Specifically, Phil mentions that Gen Z would rather stay on their phones instead of buying a console. Honestly, not surprising, so what's their strategy? Oh, they want to go... Oh, the sass, Goose, relax. They want to go all digital, neuter physical games, modify existing franchises into service-based, free-to-play markets, and move their popular games to other platforms or cloud. You see, that's an approach. Except here's the thing. While Gen Z is spending more time on their phones...
I am playing Control on my phone using the Backbone over Scloud. It's pretty good.
Are you beating it, though, Bacon? Are you beating it? Wouldn't you rather play on PC? And here's the thing, Bacon. Do you see any world where a Gen Z will do that? They're gonna do this. They're on TikTok. They're scrolling. Okay, they're scrolling like this, and then they're going to go, let me close TikTok. Let me get my jawbone. Like, maybe the OG gamers, like ourselves, there's no way I see Gen Z doing that. There's no way. Samju Bogner, Gen Zer, fellow Gen Zer. Samju, tell us, why aren't you playing the games? Why aren't you playing Xbox games? You're the reason. We want to know. Solve it for us. While Gen Z is spending more time on their phones, there's zero evidence to say Typo Goose. Moving the games there will garner sales. In fact, I would wager a bet that moving their games to platforms they play games on will do nothing. For example, no one is playing Capcom's Resident Evil 4 on iPhone. Those that do will do the following. And I firmly believe this. Number one, you're going to launch the game that you already own, right? You probably own it on Xbox, PlayStation 2, something. You're going to launch it on your iPhone. You're going to marvel at like the technical achievement that it is. You're going to be like, whoa, this is incredible. I can't believe they did this. Then you're going to immediately close the game after like 5 minutes. And then you're going to forget that you have the game on your phone. It's just going to stay installed there for a long, long time. And that's pretty much how that's going to go. The harsh truth is that yo, I need water constantly. When you read all this stuff, you just constantly parch. The harsh truth is the traditional AAA games that most people love simply do not bring in new players. It's not that the game is bad or the players are misguided. It's simply that the games do not appeal to that target demographic. In fact, all that Microsoft's actually doing is diluting the franchise that fans have supported and loved for the decades. I mean, that's Halo, that's Gears, that's a Fable. You see, if the root of the problem is the market isn't growing, then the answer isn't to make it more easily accessible. They didn't buy it on the Xbox, PlayStation 5, PC for a reason. They don't care. So what should Microsoft do? And this is the thing that I just don't understand with like Phil Spencer's and Microsoft's leadership's move. If Gen Z isn't playing Halo Infinite free to play on the Xbox, on cloud, I mean, cloud is like the bacon. You were mentioning it. You open a browser. It's as simple as you can make it. And it's not happening. You can play it on your phone. It's not happening. Right? But yet Gen Z is still playing the crap out of Fortnite, and Fortnite isn't available on iPhone. So, what's happening there? I'm waiting for that text speech. Hold up. What happened to it? Oh, you put an L in front of it, Bacon. Oh my God, Bacon, you've thrown me for 2 curveballs. So yeah, essentially the games that are coming out today, what they're doing is they're diluting them for the fans that love the game. So again, I'll use Halo. Halo's the perfect example. They are basically changing what Halo is to make it for a different audience, but they're ruining it for the people who love that audience that came for like the original style. And then the people that they're catering it to don't even care. They never cared. So basically, they've lost both. And I think that sums up Microsoft in general. They've pivoted to this new audience to make more money for this alleged growth. And they bought a bunch of companies to build up this Game Pass library. And they've diluted their own IPs, come out with nothing. And the target audience they're trying to reach doesn't care. I mean, to Gen Z, I would hazard a guess and say that Microsoft is kind of a joke to them. They'll just get a PC. I mean, that's the running joke. I think I even saw that in the chat. So what should Microsoft do? Well, I say the answer is to build something new. Okay, and my analogy here is take the pickup truck market, for example. It's stagnant and heavily dominated by Ford, specifically the F-150. Tesla, on the other hand, wants to join that market, so what did they do? Well, you see, instead of copy-pasting the F-150 and making it electric, which is essentially what Ford did, right? They took their best-selling truck and they made the F-150 Lightning, and I think it's popular, I don't know. They took a completely different and non-existent route with the Cybertruck. Say what you will about the Cybertruck. It looks like a fridge on wheels. It's, you know, say what you will. There's nothing like it else on the market. It's insanely new, insanely different. They've made a new market, and I would hazard a guess to say that the people getting the Cybertruck are a younger audience. It's not the old school, like, people I worked in construction with. Like, those guys aren't buying that. There's no way. To get them on electric, no. They want their diesel engine. They want, you know, that's what they want. They want something to pull, even though most of them don't pull. And that's what they want. So Tesla made a brand new market. Okay, say what you will again about the Cybertruck, whether you like it or don't like it. Tesla made a new market that didn't exist before. And Microsoft is doing the opposite. Microsoft is making a copy and moving things over there. That's all they're doing. But the new audience doesn't care. You know, the new audience consumes information a different way. And all Microsoft's doing is taking things that already exist one way and kind of messing them out and putting them over here as free to play, a live service, and being like, this is what you like, right? Just not what they like. So, why would you try to copy a competitor who can just do it as well, if not better, and already has brand affinity? So that's exactly why Tesla didn't do the thing that they did. No one's going to beat Ford at the Ford F-150 market. It's like 70% of truck market share is the F-150. They're winning. You're not going to beat them. So they made a new market. Eventually, that market might get bigger than the F-150. At least that's probably their hope. So the answer, you wouldn't. This should be Microsoft's plan if the problem they're trying to solve is a stagnant market. You simply will not grow an entire video game market by building some random new IPs with zero brand direction that takes 7 years to build in the hopes that they bring the audience to a subscription platform. So again, I'm excited for Indiana Jones. It's not going to get Gen Z. I'm excited for Hellblade 2. That's definitely not going to get Gen Z. No way is that going to get Gen Z. Pentiment, not happening. I would say Halo Infinite, no. So Gears of War, no. The racing games, I would also hazard and say no. Like the Forza games, definitely not the traditional Forza. Maybe Horizon, but I would doubt it. It's just not. It takes too long to do anything. So I'm not really sure what the goal here is with them, because they're putting it in, like, for instance, like Hellblade 2. It's a long time they've been developing it. Everwild, the game that Rare is making, you know that's not going to be a Gen Z hit just by the trailer that they've shown. Slimy Roast! Goose Morning, on to you! Chat, let's stop Goose for a second and get some wholesome hearts. Let's bring the energy into wholesome heart mode for Slimy Roast, okay? Well, you guys know the drill. We got the Gosling spread wholesome love. There we go. Curve's got the text to speech. Wait for it.
W.
Ah, beautiful. Fantastic to see you, Slimy Rose. Hope you're feeling goose-tastic, and we all wish you the best. Because us Goslings, we're here for each other. The strongest people in the world, the Goslings. So yeah, basically what I'm saying against, you guys are awesome. Look at all your little emojis. I love it. I'm saying Microsoft's approach is utter insanity, and this is like why I think Microsoft's just like losing. They're basically ditching their target audience that they should care about, that have been there forever. Like, whatever, I don't care. I'll play on PC, PS5, I don't care. I'm just playing where the games are. But there's something to be said for someone like me who's owned every single Xbox console, who's been a fan of the Xbox for many years. I've been there every step of the way. I supported the Xbox One generation, which was like garbage. Like, I remember just supporting it and be like, it's coming. It's coming. And it was garbage. And here we are with this new console, and they've pretty much just said, yeah, I mean, we don't need you. We're going another way. Like, they have not shown they even care about the OG fans. They've just kind of ditched them. It's what 343 did with Halo as well. They just said, yeah, we're doing our own thing. We're taking the casual route. And did that work for 343? No. They've been slowly migrating back every single game. So I go on to say, look, no one denies making video games cost a lot of money, but to be completely honest, that's on you. It's on you. Okay? Like, I feel like that's not said enough. The games cost a lot of money because of you. You're the one hiring every single developer in the world. You're the one hiring 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people to build a game that originally took 200 people to build. I'll tell you what, if you build, like, look, Helldivers 2, small team. Look, again, I already planned ahead. I didn't even realize. Past Goose beat Future Goose. But look at these games. Power World, small game. Minecraft, small game. I should say small team. Power World, small team. Minecraft, small team. Helldivers 2, small team. Stardew Valley, small team. Tetris, small team. Cuphead, small team. Hades, small team. The original Halo 2, Halo 1, Halo 3, small team. Not thousands, couple hundred. Right? Why are you making these insanely intense games if you can't afford it? Like, we're not denying that the games cost a lot of money, but you have to be, you're kind of lying when you're saying they're ballooning up. Because if I said to you, Microsoft, go make Halo 3.5, whatever, and I use Halo because it's like the easiest example for me. But if I said go make Halo, exactly Halo 3, go make that with the new tools we have today. In theory, it should be cheaper. The tools are better, the tools are faster, the technology's up there, the machines are all stronger, the people are more capable, all the knowledge has gone a lot further, the people are sharing knowledge and have been for decades. People are plenty of tricks on there. There's plenty of documentation online. There's plenty of YouTube tutorials. There's communication. The community is bigger. There's lots of games and sales out there. So there's plenty of data to pull from to see what's popular and what isn't. How is it getting more expensive? How?
They're wasting money same as Marvel.
They're wasting money, same as Marvel. Yeah, Marvel wastes a ton of money on CG stuff. Like, you know when you watch a Marvel movie with the CG stuff, you get to like the Act 3 and it's all CG? And you're like, well, this seems insanely expensive that you did not need to spend. You're just throwing money into the fire. Yes, the economics of the game dev stuff is insanely, but it's always said as like video games are too expensive. I agree. They are expensive the way you're building them. Stop building them like insane people. Stop taking 20,000 people to build Assassin's Creed new. Okay? Be smart. Reuse your assets. Make an Assassin's Creed Black Flag 2. Reuse your assets. Don't make a Skull and Bones. Everything new. 4K res. So no one needs 4K. How many people have 4K TVs? Okay? Ignore the people online who are like, it needs 4K, it needs 4K. First off, 4K on a computer is stupid. A 2K monitor is perfect. 2K is like the most I would go. 4K seems insanely stupid. It's just too... You don't need it. It doesn't give you that. 2K to 4K is like nothing. 2K to 4K, in my opinion, I should state, in my opinion, when I see it, I'm like, you're not getting that much extra for the amount, like double the horsepower that you need. So I don't understand. I go on to say these games were made by small teams and originally released on a subset of platforms when they expanded. Now, is it possible that games cost such a huge amount of money that it becomes untenable for a publisher looking to make money on their return? Of course. But anything can if risks are taken. If the risks... Man, Goose can't talk today. Basically, anything can be if the risks that they take are incredibly stupid. That's all I'm saying. So again, Warner has the Batman and Justice League IP, and they led an unwanted live service game with Suicide Squad. The team that bombed... Sorry, I don't know why I wrote team. The movie that bombed twice at the box office. I mean, you can look at the box office data and see that Suicide Squad did not make money in both versions of the Suicide Squad movie that came out. Even the good one, because the second one by James Gunn was good. It was good. But it still lost a lot of money. It was not profitable. So why are you making a video game out of that? Like, in the YouTube space, when you go try to make stuff, you typically don't want to make a video of something that's not going to get views. You want to be true to yourself as a creator, but you don't want to make something that's going to be like an immense waste of your time. Because it takes money and effort to do these things. It seems obvious, but yet these companies just like splurge money. So why would you lead this incredibly risky decision, take over 10 years to build it, and lead it with a brand that people have shown with actual money they don't care about it? Yo, Goose getting triggered over here. So again, let's take Skull and Bones as an example. The question on every gaming journalist's mind to present to Ubisoft should be this. Why was Skull and Bones made as an entirely new IP with new assets, new characters, most likely on a branched, horribly maintained game engine, instead of a direct sequel to the beloved Assassin's Creed Black Flag, similar to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood Revelations? That's the question. Why would you not do it that way? Because we know games are expensive. We know you have 20,000 people working on your games. We know that. Just, why are you risking all your money? Why? Because if you keep risking all your money, all that's going to happen is your employees are going to be, they're going to lose their jobs. Okay, I gotta read you rascals in the chat, the goslings. Alex123 Frost says, yeah, 4K is 2K too many. 1,000% agree. Okay, I have a 4K OLED. I love it. It's beautiful, but I don't even know the types of games that play 4K. I like watching stuff in 4K on that thing because I'm far back, and my eyesight is actually bad. See, that's why I had these, because I can't see far because of all my time on computers. But on a monitor, bro, 2K is fine. You do not need 4K. And also, 4K monitors are insanely expensive. Punch Bloater in the chat says, remember when the original Sony PlayStation 1 came out and we were all like, whoa, this is the pinnacle of graphics. It'll never get better than this. Nowadays, as consumers, we don't leave much room for love and wonder. We focus on what's next, better, and we feel such a sense of entitlement to constant improvements. Yeah, I would say that's just like, so there's like two camps, right? There's the people who complain online, Twitter, and there's sales. And at the end of the day, like, again, I can put it in YouTube terms. There's the comments and there's the retention. The retention tells me how much people are watching and which parts they don't like. I can see when the data says people stopped watching here and left. 10% of people dipped here. So when comments say something's bad, but then I can see people really like it or it did dip, the data can validate that. And sales is the ultimate data. If people are buying these things, sales is the ultimate data. And so look at the most insanely highly graphical games. They're not selling as much as a Minecraft. They're not selling as much as like World of Warcraft has stood the test of time. Despite its ups and its downs, World of Warcraft is still alive 20 years later. This November will be its 20th anniversary. It's still being played. People wanted Master Chief Collection. Just up-res those games. People don't actually care about the graphics as much as they say. I highly believe it's a small minority because honestly, who cares? You want to be immersed. Okay? Tetris is still like one of the most bought, downloaded games of all time. People want to have fun and they want to be immersed. And if you have a great story, fantastic. Mass Effect Legacy Edition or Legacy Collection, I forget what it's called. Look, those games were up-resed. They ain't looking that great. But people will go back like Bacon, like myself, like Daddy Diwali, all these wonderful people, these Mass Effect fans, because the story is great. Obviously, there's some nostalgia there, but it's in a fantastic world and we want to be there. We can forgive certain things. Otherwise, no one would even play the PlayStation 2 games, the old games. Just no one would play them. Shasha says, I'm pretty sure the Singapore government forced them to make Skull and Bones. I can't remember. Oh my God, if that's the truth, like that is just cringe. How do they do that? How do they force them to do that? Punch Sploder, maybe some of you don't remember the PS1. Oh, man. It's an Atari 2600 kid. Curve, 01234. What's the difference with an OLED and AMO OLED? I actually don't know. I know an OLED is like they can turn the pixel on and off. I don't know what AMO OLED is. Comment sections are vocal minority. Yeah, comment sections are just cringe. Honestly, they are very, very cringe. But let's go on. So there is zero business executives in the world who wouldn't look at this decision, the Skull and Bones decision, and not go, yeah, we should probably go with the safer Assassin's Creed bet. Moreover, the decision would have saved them money and garnered a bigger return, especially if they did it when it was hot. See, if Black Flag 2 was made instead, the world wouldn't have to be completely remade, the character arcs would be continued, and the story could have been fleshed out. Furthermore, if you somehow make it a great game, you'll get a guaranteed purchase from fans and possibly 2 purchases from newcomers who buy the original and the sequel to catch up. You guys ever have this, right? The Marvel effect when a new big movie comes out? Like when Endgame came out, Infinity War came out. Do you know how many people were getting into Marvel because of it? They're like, I need to get into this, so I'm going to binge, Iron Man 1, 2, 3, Captain America 1, 2, and 3, I guess. All these movies, binging all of them just to get caught up on the story. Doctor Strange, all these things. So essentially, Marvel didn't just make one movie. They made a chain. They made a binge. That's the point. This is like hedging your bets. These video game companies are making new IP which is okay. That's great. We want new IP. But companies like Microsoft are making solely new random IP that have no distinction amongst themselves. Like, they're not connected in any way, which is fine when you're an indie company who's just trying to make, their dream game. That's fine. That's a different use case. But a $1 trillion company that needs to make return, like even Midnight Club, Rockstar's Midnight Club, had a Smuggler's Run 2 vehicle that you could drive in. It was an Easter egg. Connection. People connect, right? You have these type of connections to help with the binge effect. The same thing with YouTube. When Mr. Beast puts out a video, he's making sequels to his other videos because he knows that for every one of his fans that watch his current videos, he will get a new fan to watch one of his videos and binge the rest that are all similar. Because if I get you to watch one video, you may like it. But if I get you to watch 3 videos, you're probably going to be a fan. You'll watch more. No problem, Goose. Goose. No problem, Curve. You stay beautiful. Keep it cute. We'll see you in the future. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. I go on to say a perfect example of a company that does this. Jeez, that sounded so like open and shut. Bye. Hearts in the chat for Curve. I go on to say a perfect example of like the antithesis of this is, and I mentioned this on the Nerd Chat podcast, you should totally listen, is Nintendo. Nintendo has built up huge franchises like Zelda, Mario, etc. But as you can imagine, we don't get a mainline version of these games every single year. You're not getting a Mario Odyssey every single year. You're not getting a new Tears of the Kingdom every single year. You're not getting these things, right? Metroid Prime 4, you're not getting these things. But what you are getting are tiny Nintendo games in the center to help build up to those bigger games, right? So you're getting your Mario Tennis, you're getting your Mario Strikers, you're getting your Smash Brothers, you're getting all these things that add up to it so that you can do the big game with less risk. Like, these little games will keep making you money as you go ahead and make the big game. And these little games can reuse assets from the big games to help just constantly grow. It's just like a growth trajectory. And then once you have enough hits, then you can start doing new IP, like a list here, Pikmin, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, in hopes that they become something people connect with to make more sequels. Because when you're this size of the company, your goal shouldn't be to make new IP 24/7. Your goal should be franchising. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you take it, I don't really care. When you're at this size, when you have too much to risk, you should not be making new IP 24/7. You should be making a lot of safe bets as far as ideas with great gameplay, new innovative stuff. The Gears of War franchise is a perfect example. Gears 1, phenomenal. Gears 2 did Gears 1 way better, plus it added a horde mode, right? And they just kept upping the ante. It's just like, here's this thing, we're going to keep it the same, but we're going to add to it, make it better and better and better and better. How can we make it better and better and better? That's what you do. But Microsoft specifically just does not want to do that for whatever reason. I'm not even understanding. Although credit where credit is due, they did do it with Forza. Been milking that puppy. But I think they should go further. I think they should make a Forza kart. I don't know why they don't. Forza kart featuring the characters from their franchises. Would that not sell? Banjo, Master Chief and the Warthog, Marcus Phoenix and like his little whatever that thing is called. Conquer. There's a lot of people in there. Throw in Blinks, and then monitor the data to see who's playing which carts. Daddy Diwali, it wouldn't sell because it'd be on Game Pass. So it's not selling at all. It's going to get a lot of playtime though. But Daddy Diwali's in the chat, everyone. He's in here. He's beautiful. He's goose-tastic. Throw him some hearts. Throw him some love. I totally agree. We just went over that. I don't know if I don't know where you were, sir. But basically, we were saying that Gen Z wants to-the-point games. They want to-the-point games, and nothing Microsoft makes is doing that. And Microsoft bringing their stuff to PlayStation, Switch, what have you, PC, cloud, doesn't matter. Because these Gen Z people didn't care. They don't care. They just don't care. Those games aren't for them. They like Fortnite, not because it's multiplayer, not because it's free to play. That's not why. They like it because it's to the point. There's no barriers, it's to the point. That's the data they consume. That is their behavior pattern. Video games do not support that behavior pattern. They just don't. There's too much. You play any game, even like the Halo games I love. Like take the first Mass Effect. Eden Prime, Gen Z shutting that off immediately. Gen Z jumps into Eden Prime with the slow start and burn up to the Reapers, finding out what's happening. It's awesome for us who grew up with slower paced content. But Gen Z, they're not doing that. So, yeah, I'm not sure what Microsoft's doing. I mean, we could say here, see here, what big tentpoles has Microsoft even made in the past 10 years? Nothing. In fact, they mostly ruined their brand with the most beloved franchises. Halo has been squandered more times than Bungie's even owned the IP, and most frustratingly, with the entire source code of every Halo game in their possession, which is insane to me. That's absolutely insane to me. They have the source code, they have the assets, they made worse games. Ah! Literally, they have the keys to the castle and they still mess it up. Gears was doing great. I will say Gears 4, they did the formula. They did it perfectly. They didn't stray too far. They started a new cast, darker theme, like homage to the first. Gears 4, and what they did with Ultimate Edition, have the new devs rebuild Gears 1 for the new thing. They get to teach and learn about the source code and what worked, and then they make Gears 4. Coalition, Xbox, that was phenomenal. That was perfect. But then Gears 5, they went, yeah, we're going completely fresh. We're changing the name. And the end, we're putting it in your hands. Stupid. Insanely silly. Fable's been MIA and been squandered to Connect. Yeah, they shut down Lionhead. Like, that was the biggest L. Rare has been making non-Rare games. I'm not saying they have to make Rare games, but why'd you buy Rare? Why did you buy Rare for billions of dollars? And you've done what games with them? I love Viva Pinata. I love Viva Pinata. But why? Why? I think that's Fortnite. But why buy them to do that? Like, sure, have them make their own thing, sure. But why are you not using the IP? Why? I just don't get it. Yeah. So again, the problem Xbox leadership is trying to solve is growing the video game pie entirely, which I totally sympathize. That's definitely what they want to do. Their answer has been to buy everyone that can be bought, but put out worse games in the franchise that they do own. I mean, objectively, that's just true. Like, every Halo game is reviewed worse than the previous Halo game. Same thing with the Forza games. Same thing with the Gears games. I think we take the average of Microsoft's entire output, the 10 years versus the 10 years prior. I'd say 10% lower, maybe even 15. I can't even think of one game in the 360 Xbox generation, like the Gen 6 and 7, that came close to Redfall. I can't think of one. But I could just be forgetting something. So that could be fair. But yeah, so they've done that. They sell a $600 device that plays cross-gen games a bit better than the worst generation video games ever had, and a lot worse than what a PC can do. So it's like the new consoles are just bumps. So if you're going to get a bump, then why not just go for the best bump? Get a PC. Like, they put that question in your head, and then you kind of go, well, yeah, why would I spend $600 on this when I could just spend a little bit more and get a nice PC? And then it can do a lot of other things. And put out the games that haven't sold on their new subscription platform. Maybe I'm missing something, but how is the pie growing with these solutions? Am I to understand that suddenly having the next new free-to-play Halo on cloud, PS5, a portable Xbox, and PC will bring in Gen Z? I don't think it will, chat. Look, I get the problem Xbox is facing, and I'm sympathetic, but I really don't understand the leadership's decisions. And every time they try to explain it, they double down on their decision with vague reasons. I'll be frank. I mean, this is true. Gen Z's not buying the next Halo. It could be classic. It could be modern. They ain't buying it. They don't care. They don't care about those types of games, period. Like, they just don't. So, if that's the problem, then what's Microsoft doing? Like, it kind of seems like Microsoft should just be making mobile experiences from what I see with Gen Z. But they're not even buying the mobile games, to my knowledge. I don't know. It's tricky. I'm just saying, I'm not saying I have the answer. I'm saying their solutions for the problem, unless I'm missing something, they're not making much sense. Not making much sense. I think the better bet is to make fantastic AAA games for the $600 console millions of people have purchased with their hard-earned money. And then once you've managed to extend the pie, once you manage that, extend the pie over the other platforms. That's all I'm saying. Sure, we're sympathetic that you want to get over to the new pie, that you want to grow that. I get it. It's a business. You got to grow. But don't leave the homies in the dust. Don't leave the homies in the dust. That's just hurtful. But that's Xbox. So I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know. But hopefully we get some good stuff. Indiana Jones, I think, is going to be cool. I'm very excited. I think Machine Games is
Microsoft trying to capture all the money from the shrinking console base. Gen Z is lost.
Yeah, like, I think Gen Z's not buying a console because nothing on there is what they want. Furthermore, I don't know. Microsoft put out the data. I want to see. The people playing Fortnite. People playing on Xbox Series S. Are they Gen Z? I don't know. At least, yeah, I think Sony's also been like suffering with the first party stuff. But they've also put out a critically acclaimed, I don't think it's the better one, but a critically acclaimed Spider-Man game. Critically acclaimed and industry pushing with the SSD stuff on Ratchet & Clank, to be fair. And it looks beautiful. I mean, Insomniac has been carrying. They got God of War, which, yes, PlayStation 4 thing. Ragnarok, which to me was way too slow. Ain't no way it was slow for me. That first scene made me cry. It made me cry. But game was way too slow. I got to get back to it. So I would say, like, Sony has IP that is like pushing that target audience. They're also not doing anything for Gen Z, but at least their current audience, you know, that current audience is like, I'll play Last of Us one more time, please. And I know that because they've sold the game like 7 times. So that's for sure. I missed Alex123 Fra. I think a new handheld like Steam Deck from Xbox with a lightweight OS fully supporting DirectX may resurrect Microsoft gaming. You think so? I think I could be in the minority. I think that will be a huge flop. I really, really do. Because I just don't understand. I don't understand who it's for. I really, really don't. There's nothing on the Xbox now. Why would I pay another $400 for a handheld? I don't know. I don't see it. I think if you do a handheld, it should not be parity. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe they have some crazy stuff. I just can't see it doing exactly like Daddy. Well, if you're playing Fortnite, Roblox, all that stuff, yeah, for sure. You're on your phone, you're doing stuff like that, but yeah. Playing Halo on to me, I don't know though. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I never use the Switch like portably because I think it just controls worse. It's just a less fun experience because you're holding it like this. The sticks are just it's more difficult. I don't like it. It doesn't feel as good as like a Pro controller. I actually bought a Pro controller for my Switch because I just didn't like the controls. I just really don't. I would like to try a Steam Deck. It looks thick. Looks like a thick boy, but I would like to try it. It cannot fail on the portal. Halo is dead. Halo can be back. Halo could be back. But Halo from Microsoft, I agree. It's dead. It's dead. I think it'll come back. I think someone's going to make... Like, look, the most popular game... We have to work within the confines of the data we have. Because that is the true answer, right? And the data that we have, okay, would suggest that gamers don't actually shouldn't say gamers. The majority of people that are going to spend money, those with a lot of money to spend, okay? The people you're going to make profit of, not the hardcore, the people you're going to make profit of, they do not care about graphics. Minecraft has proved that. Sea of Thieves proves that. World of Warcraft proves that. I mean, heck, Halo's not a graphical powerhouse either. The original Halos. They prove that, right? Halo outsold Gears by a lot. So, look, Halo Infinite is a fine game, but it's not a great Halo game. That's all I'm saying. It's just not a great Halo game. It plays great. We're going to play it in 2 seconds. But it's just not a good Halo game. And I have plenty of reasons. Like, Halo 1 through 3 is chess. It's chess. But Halo Infinite, Halo 4 to Infinite, they're checkers. And not even checkers. It's hard to explain, but Halo 1 through 3 are deterministic, meaning that I could literally put in a series of, like an Excel spreadsheet of actions in like a giant stream of everything that would happen. And then I could feed that in and you will get the exact same outcome. The exact same outcome. When you put in some input, you will always get some output that is the exact same. 343's games are not that. And that's the problem. That's the problem with, that's why it's not seen as the same as those Halo games. Because they're not deterministic. They're random. And that's by design. Halo Infinite is the least random, I would say. But, yeah. And they focus on the wrong things, I find. But, anyways. We're not going to solve it, chat. John Halo's not going to solve it. Do you see he's on his Xbox? Camera guy? John Halo, you've been silent. Look at him. The reason he's on his Xbox is because John Halo got all the stuff he needs to do in the Insignia Xbox Live thing so he could play Halo 2 again. I got to set it up with John Halo. But he has no hands, so I got to do it myself. Oh, geez Louise. Alex123. A Xbox handheld will also benefit from the shared IPs opening up to other platforms by Sony. I think Microsoft can make it work and fix the Steam Deck's flaws. Agree with comments above. This is the time for Microsoft to do it while Sony is sleeping on the handhelds. They are, but I think the PlayStation Portal, I think it did well. I'm not entirely sure on that, though. But I think it was profitable. PlayStation Portal. Dude, my keyboard, I hate it. I hate it with a passion. PlayStation Portal, profitable. Yeah, they say, although we don't have any numbers to share, the demand has continued to exceed our expectations. My goodness. Chat. All right, well, let's play. Let's jump on to the next section, chat. It's very exciting. Every death that I get in Halo Infinite. And yeah, that's true, Bacon. Bacon just hit us with some facts. Requires a PS5. That is the nice thing about the Xbox thing, where I would hope it's native. And you don't need cloud stuff. You could just play your games. And they work at a lower res. I hope that's the direction they take. Because on the backwards compatibility front, I think that's a cool thing. Being able to play all those old games on a new system, portable system, that gets hype. And I think that would be the marketing that I would take with that. Depends how it controls and stuff, but yeah.